Hello again, and today we have a couple of topics to run through in a minute, including more than I could add in the title, so stick around for the latest. And as always, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So we'll start with Eminem's latest on Spotify, a platform that was launched in 2008 but hit its stride in 2014 when growth exploded in major markets around the world, and as such, artists who hit their strides in the last 5 years have enjoyed the most from the growth of streaming platforms, while many artists who hit their peaks before streaming took over have been left behind. But then there's Eminem, a rapper from the late 90s who's been skiing across mediums of music consumption: cassettes, vinyls, digital downloads, and now streaming. And recently, Eminem overtook Justin Bieber to become the 5th most followed artist on Spotify. Streaming platforms like YouTube and Spotify afford us the luxury of finding out what people are checking out in music. And because of this, we can find out stats of music from the past that are still sought after today, which has objectively put to bed assumptions like Eminem's music doesn't age well, because as far as we know, his old music remains the most played on streaming platforms today compared to rappers from his era. In 2020, nothing has changed, as Eminem's latest album, Music to Be Murdered By, remains the top hip-hop debut of 2020 with 50.5 million streams day one on Spotify, a project that released out of the blue. Eminem remains the 4th most streamed artist and now the 5th most followed artist on Spotify, and the transition continues for Eminem from physical digital downloads to streaming. And while this is going on for streaming, he also holds the top spot for pure album sales in hip-hop in the US for 2020 with his latest album. And for first week equivalent sales in major markets for hip-hop, Eminem remains at the top. Next up today is about Joyner, and Genius decided to share a clip of Joyner praising Eminem where he referred to him as a god.
Huge Eminem fan, you can tell by the visuals. I consider this dude like a god, like literally, just because of how much his music resonated with me growing up.
And here's how many on Twitter have reacted to this post. Now, of course, it is expected that Joyner is referring to Eminem as the rap god and nothing more, because he's lived up to that title so far in his career. But you know how things get interpreted on Twitter. A user states, "Fail. Never worship any man as God." And reading that, you'd think Joyner claimed to pray to Eminem like he was some religious deity. People take things too far, forgetting that the word God also means a greatly admired or influential person in the English language, and by that definition, Eminem can be described as a god. And since we're talking about definitions, check out the definition of collab on Google. That includes the example: her collab with Eminem is not at all surprising. Like, how cool is that? And Joyner is described as a cornball for stating facts about Eminem, just like Royce, who described Eminem as a superhero.
Em ain't even a rapper no more. Em's not a rapper no more. He's like a superhero.
And more recently, Fat Joe, who said no one can top Eminem in a hits versus battle.
Yeah, I don't think nobody fuck with Eminem. Nobody.
Or cornballs for showing appreciation for Eminem. And we even got educated by a user who stated, "Growing up, I listened to Ray Charles, Beach Boys, Rat, Run DMC, Def Leppard, etc. It's truly defined my writing style. I feel sorry for these 21st century rappers idolizing mediocrity." So learning from the biggest artist of the 21st century, who also happens to be a GOAT lyricist, is mediocrity to some. Such high standards, I'm jealous. And here's another one from Genius recently about Tracy Morgan.
Thank you, Eminem. I mean, he's one of the top 5 in the world, man. Eminem.
And to end it, remember that Eminem moved from around 12 million followers on Spotify in 2017 to over 34.8 million in 2020. Just shows that it was wishful thinking for those who believed he was done after revival. And once again, we have succeeded in killing off narratives that were spreading around in recent times, like Eminem has been irrelevant, no one listens to Eminem, or Eminem's music doesn't age well. These narratives are falling apart thanks to stats that objectively show otherwise. And if Eminem's music aged badly by current standards, then every rapper from his era is pretty much dumpster juice by comparison. Bad for Eminem and worse for everyone else from his era. So that will we all share your thoughts on Eminem's growth on a relatively new platform like Spotify, edging out newer artists in the process, something that's unprecedented in the industry. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.